In order to produce the Harry Potter films, certain things had to be cut down, not mentioned at all, or completely changed from how we read them in the books. No matter what was changed, Harry Potter fans were never going to be completely happy. So today we are going to go over 10 of the worst changes made in the Harry Potter movies. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and let us know that you subscribe by commenting down below saying I subscribed to be within the chance of a shout out at the end of the month.
Use it. Is going to try to kill you either way.
Number 1. Dismissing the roles of the Weasleys. It should be known by all Harry Potter fans that the Weasley family are a huge part of the series. Not only is Harry's best friend a Weasley, but also his future wife is a Weasley. But if you didn't read the books, then there could be some things that you may not be aware of, as many instances to do with the Weasley family are either not shown in the movies how they were in the books, or they are just completely ignored and not shown at all. It is safe to say that the Harry Potter movie series did a great disservice to the whole of the Weasley family. Both Bill and Charlie Weasley are barely ever seen in the films, apart from when Charlie has a cameo appearance in The Prisoner of Azkaban. As well as this, the whole story we see within the books about Percy cutting himself out of the whole family is completely ignored, and to top it all off, his tragic farewell to Fred before his death is also not included. We also see Ginny Weasley go from a no-nonsense badass to a glorified love interest of Harry Potter with no personality of her own. Saying all of this, Ron Weasley has to be the character who gets the worst end of the stick in this whole situation. Within the films, he was turned into and viewed as a comedic relief. The significance of his bravery as well as the friendship that he shows and possesses is downplayed in favour of lame catchphrases and jokes. This was not what Harry Potter fans expected to see after reading the book.
Hermione, you're honestly the most wonderful person I've ever met.
Number 2. Harry Potter not winning the Quidditch Cup. Throughout the movies, Quidditch was given a much smaller role than it was given in the book counterparts. Although this is not surprising, as there was very limited time to shoot each film, it's still disheartening to many fans. Quidditch is a reoccurring background element in many of the books, but it becomes major when the plot for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban comes along. Gryffindor's winnings on the Quidditch Cup take place across 3 matches. However, in the movie's adaptation of The Prisoner of Azkaban, we only get to see one of these matches take place, which is the first match. It is thought that the only reason why this match was kept in the movies in the first place was due to the fact that it has connections to the rest of the story. This is because during the match, Dementors arrive on the pitch and manage to knock Harry off of his broomstick, leading him to become unconscious. Saying this, within the book, this particular event of the Gryffindors winning the final Quidditch match was one of the most triumphant moments in the whole of the book series. This is why many fans are disappointed to not see it be played out the same way in the movies. Number 3. The attack on Burrow. It should come to no surprise when making movies, the whole crew have to work together to make the movies more exciting for the viewers to watch, and the Harry Potter movies are no exception to this. To make the movies more appealing to the audience they generally had to make more action-packed scenes within them. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is a prime example of this, in which the creators of the film processed and added an utterly pointless scene that involved the Weasleys' home being attacked by Death Eaters. On Christmas Day, Death Eaters launch an attack on the Burrow, and during this fiasco, Harry finds himself engaged in a running battle with Bellatrix throughout the marshlands outside the home. The Weasley home is burnt down by the Death Eaters, which is truly pointless as there is no lasting consequences to this whatsoever. The battle left no one hurt, the Death Eaters got away, so what was the point in all of this? As well as this, the Burrow is also rebuilt for the next film anyway. This scene has no significant meaning to the rest of the story and was purely added into the film's adaptation of the book to add more excitement and more thrill. Number 4. the maze. The Triwizard Tournament has to contain some of the best scenes within the film, The Goblet of Fire, and the crew actually did an amazing job at adapting the first two tests from the books into the movies. The first test with the dragons was an exciting sequence, though it was actually a shame that we didn't get to see the other participants facing off against their dragons as we got to see Harry do. The second test was an underwater rescue scene, and this was a dark and scary scene with excellent high quality animations of the merpeople. However, the final test is where the movie starts to fall flat in correlation to the books. In the book, the 4 Triwizard champions are sent into a huge garden maze with a blind eye to what awaits them, where they battle against numerous magical foes. We are told that Harry has to face a Boggart, which is impersonating a Dementor, and he also has to face a lot of other things, including a riddle, before he finally teams up with Cedric. In the movie's version of the Goblet of Fire, the maze is only filled with a creepy mist and some plants. It is by far the most boring of the 3 tasks and really doesn't resemble the book at all. Number 5. The changes in Albus Dumbledore. As many keen-eyed Harry Potter fans may have come to notice over the course of the Harry Potter movies, both the actor and the appearance of the character Albus Dumbledore have changed a significant amount. For example, the first 2 movies, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, utilised the talents of actor Richard Harris for Dumbledore's character. This iteration of the character wore clothing and features which resemble the character of the book rather closely, with white hair and dark robes, as well as a longer, thinner nose. However, the remaining movies utilised the actor Michael Gambon, who used a duller colour palette with a more grey overtone and sharper features. Michael's iteration of the character also wore looser clothing than Richard's did. This change was brought upon the series by the director Alfonso, who was implemented into the position for the 3rd movie, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and he saw Michael being more suitable for the role than Richard Harris, despite the fact that Richard fit the profile for the character in the book far closer than Michael did. It is also seen that the director was the catalyst for the change in the character's wardrobe, as he saw the character as suiting more to a warlock type aesthetic with more bedridden styled hair. Many fans of the series were not at all happy with the changes, presumably down to the fact that it was completely inaccurate to the portrayal of the character they know and love from the books. Number 6. Harry's eyes versus his mother's eyes. You do not have to try very hard to try and find a reference to Harry's eyes while reading the books or from watching the movies, as a number of different characters constantly mention his eyes and go on to say that they remind them of his mother's eyes. This point is further played upon when Snape, who has a lifelong love for Harry's mother, Lily, as he can still see her inside of Harry's eyes even during his last moments before death, choosing to stare into Harry's eyes because he could still see his one love, Lily, within them. It's understandable that many Potterheads were annoyed by the fact that the actors Daniel Radcliffe and Ellie Darcy, who played Harry and his mother Lily, didn't actually have the same eye colour as each other, so it didn't represent the book at all. Radcliffe had naturally blue eyes, so to achieve a fix for this, directors told him he was to wear coloured contacts to change the colour of his eyes, but it turned out to be a flop as he proved to be allergic to them. Ellie had dark brown eyes, so this was a complete unmatched to what they should have been from what we see within the book. Although this is not much of a big deal to some people, many fans did not like this adaptation from the books to the movies and they were quite upset with it.
After all this time.
Number 7. Ginny's and Harry's kiss. Hardcore Harry Potter fans will definitely remember reading The Half-Blood Prince and finally getting to the part where Ginny and Harry's kiss manifests. However, within the movies, the kiss did not play out exactly the same way. The book's interpretation of the kiss happened after a glorious win against Slytherin in a match of Quidditch, and is described as a moment of passion between the two characters with a feeling of pure bliss. The Gryffindor common room erupts into celebration as Harry and Ginny lock lips in front of everyone, setting off a start to a romance that will prove to be equally as explosive. It's therefore incredibly disappointing that the film chose to play out the kiss in such a different way, stripping it of all of its joy and passion, making it something quite secret and quiet. Rather than being a moment of intense happiness, the kiss between Harry and Ginny is seen to be somewhat awkward, out of place, and some would even say a little sad. We don't feel the connection between them that we should, as we did in the book, and the change of setting and circumstances make the moment feel incredibly forced. Seeing the kiss as it is described in the books would have made for an amazing scene for everyone to watch.
Because of everything that's going on.
Number 8. The Final Battle. As the final battle of Hogwarts in the Deathly Hallows Part 2 commences, many choices were made that were incredibly diverse. While there are plenty of small changes for me to go ahead and explain to you from the book to the movie, the most damaging point for Potterheads was certainly the confrontation between Harry and Voldemort in the end, their final battle. The book shows Harry and Voldemort having a final conversation in the Great Hall in front of everybody, but the film shows a strange battle that fans tend to hate. Harry and Voldemort battle alone while partaking in many different activities, which includes flying unexpectedly and jumping off the side of the castle in a strange embrace. When the time comes and Harry finally kills Voldemort once and for all, Voldemort strangely disintegrates into the air, kind of like paper. While the face-off between Voldemort and Harry is epic and suspenseful, it is not true to the books at all, and it made many fans furious. It's important to the readers that in the end Voldemort's greatest fear comes true. He dies a normal human and mundane death. He falls to the ground like any other forgotten body. Number 9. The Gaunt Family. The book version of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince has many flashback sequences, and one of the most powerful memories they look into belongs to Bob, a ministry employee who visits the home of the Gaunt family. It is revealed that the Gaunts are kind of like the wizard equivalent of the mutants from The Hills Have Eyes. They were once a proud family who traced their lineage back to Salazar Slytherin, but years of poverty and inbreeding turned them foul and violent. One of the members of the family is a young girl who Harry later learns and realizes is actually Voldemort's mother. Dumbledore shows this memory to Harry because Voldemort visited his relatives when he was older and murdered his Muggle family and put the blame on Morphin Gaunt, his uncle. Voldemort then stole the ring of the house and turned it into a Horcrux, which was eventually discovered and destroyed with the Gryffindor sword by no other than Dumbledore. In the film adaptation of The Half-Blood Prince, the entire Gaunt family scene is broken down into one sentence by Dumbledore, in which he says, "Yes, I found this ring. It was a Horcrux and I've destroyed it." This is such a disappointment as it is quite a significant part of the book, so fans would like to have seen it within the film as well, but unfortunately that just didn't happen.
I must ask too much of you, Harry.
Number 10. Hepzibah Smith. The Gaunt family weren't the only ones who got screwed over by the Half-Blood Prince movie adaptation of the book, as there was another scene involving the origins of another Horcrux. In the book, Harry witnesses the memory of a house elf named Hoki who served a woman, Hepzibah Smith. She was a wealthy woman who possessed many ancient historical artifacts, and once upon a time a young Tom Riddle used to visit her, and during this time of all of his visits, Smith showed him her two greatest treasures, a cup that was owned by Helga Hufflepuff and a locket that was owned by Salazar Slytherin. Later on, Riddle killed Smith unfortunately, and and took these items to use them as Horcruxes and placed the blame on her house elf. Hufflepuff's cup isn't mentioned at all during the 6th movie as it is in the book, but it is discovered based on the information that Bellatrix was afraid that someone had broken into her vault at Gringotts. The scene in which the cup is recovered is the same, however. Harry and his friends break into Gringotts and take it. Harry only knows that the cup is a Horcrux due to some new Horcrux vision of spider sense that the movie gives to him, which is nothing like we see within the books. Well, there we have it guys, 10 of the worst changes made within the Harry Potter movies. Leave a like on the video if you also thought that one of these was the worst change that was made, and share this video with your Harry Potter friends alike. Remember to subscribe to the channel for a chance to have a shout out at the end of the month, and we'll catch you in the next video.